Okay, so hi everyone, and welcome to Say It Baby podcast. I have very many guests on this week's podcast, and I can't wait to get going because the conversation is going to be a little bit controversial, but that's what we're here for. Everybody has different opinions, and we're going to share them with you. You either agree, you don't, but you need to let us know in the comments. So I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and say their age because I think that is a good point. I'll start. Jordan, the host. I am now 31. Holy fuck. Abbie.
I'm Abbie and I'm 26.
I'm Kaz and I'm 26.
I'm Ant and I'm 33.
I'm Matt and I'm 29.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to start doing a bit of a fire round. And I have wrote down some questions that I'll aim at individual people, but that doesn't mean that the questions fit your narrative. I just want your opinion. Okay, Kaz.
Oh, I knew you were going to start with me, you know.
I
could feel it.
Obviously. What is your opinion on monogamy versus non-monogamy?
Okay. Personally, I want monogamy for myself. That is my ideal scenario. However, in recent years, I've become more open to understanding why people go down the non-monogamous route. So I'm completely accepting of other people and understand why they do that. However, I personally want monogamy.
So what's changed your views on that? Being in Bali?
Probably, yeah, probably. No, it's probably being around more open-minded people that have experienced it, like non-monogamy in a successful way. And I think at the end of the day, like, we're very primal, and I think that monogamy is a social construct and it's not how we're supposed to be. And less than 5% of mammals are monogamous. So
Well done.
with all of
So
those
actually,
things
it's
involved,
only swans.
really?
Yeah, I did a bit of research, bit of dig deep. And
Swans.
it's
Only swans what?
Swans are monogamous for
Monogamous.
each other.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So with all
That's
of that
why they
in
belong
mind,
to the queen.
yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Okay. Abbie?
I think monogamy for me,
Yeah.
but I can.
Have you
like
ever tried anything else?
No, I haven't.
Would you?
What would I try non-monogamy? No, because I know I'd get too jealous,
Okay.
and I think it's like if you were to be non-monogamy, like where's the line? Where's the line? How would that work?
Well, that would be between you two as a couple. You'd set boundaries and you'd have limits that neither of you cross. It's a very respectful situation as long as boundaries are
Yeah.
laid out at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't personally think I could do it,
Okay.
but
Anne?
Um,
I'm just going to say for the
Monogamy.
camera's point of view, Ant's got his glasses on because he decided to go out last night and not behave and
I
get
got dragged
drunk.
out. Sorry, guys. I might take it off halfway through, but right now, I can't.
It's okay, you look cool. We'll allow it.
Monogamy, absolutely not.
Hang on, in which way?
Like,
Or you believe in non-monogamy?
I believe that a guy isn't going to be monogamous, but the girl should be. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Why is that?
Cool. So monogamy, I just feel like it's just not realistic, to be honest, because like with guys, like I know girls are very different, but with guys, we always chase variety in girls, and no one woman can give a guy 100% of what he needs. It's just not possible.
What does a guy need?
Okay, so a guy needs a woman to raise his kids, look after the home, etc., etc. But he also needs girls that when he's stepping out in the club, like going to restaurants, going on holidays, like the fun girls. He needs the fun girls too. And no woman could be both. It's not possible. And like the conversation we were having earlier, the other day off camera, is when a guy meets a girl, he puts a girl in one of two boxes. Like, no matter whether guys are going to admit this to you or not, this is just the fact of life. You're getting put in one of two boxes. So you're either the fun girl or your wifey, and that is it. Like, there's no in between, there's no both, nothing. It doesn't exist. Sorry.
Okay.
And that's why when you were saying you haven't tried anything but monogamy before, in my head, I didn't want to interrupt you. But you definitely have, you just don't know it yet. Like, that's all it is. That's just facts. So
Because the male has been going off trying it.
100%. Like, and I say this all the time to like my female friends. Like, I've got friends from every background, like rich, poor, black, white, Asian, like from the streets, like from high society, sheikhs, everyone, every single guy I know is the same.
Okay.
It
Not
is what
one
it is.
is monogamous.
I don't know one guy. Like there are guys who are monogamous, but
Because they're
they're
scared.
not the guy that you girls desire. Like you girls desire the 1% man. I hate the term high value man, but that's what you girls want. You want a guy who ticks every box, has money, good shape, social, like is respected by his friends, blah blah blah. I could go on, whatever. That's the guy that most of you girls want. That guy is not going to be monogamous. It's not possible. He has no reason to be. Why should he be monogamous?
Why should we be monogamous?
Because your value comes from the fact that you can be monogamous. Because guys want no, it's true though. Because guys want, like, what is considered a high value woman isn't the same as what's considered a high value man. And a high value woman, like, according to us, because a lot of girls actually have no clue what that is to guys anyway.
I'm going to pause you there because we're coming back to that. Matt, your opinion?
Monogamy, I think that monogamy works for your children. And I think that it's a necessary construct for children to be developed in a household where there is structure, there is love, there is guidelines to be followed. But in the long run, I think, like Ant said, variety is what men chase. But a lot of men don't have the optionality to be able to say that they want variety. So a lot of men are in a simple stage where they take what they can get.
Why though? Who's making you not be able to say it?
Well,
Society?
yeah,
or
society.
your woman?
When you stand up and you say these things, you're the bad guy.
100%.
You know what I mean? So when you're in a position to say, I've done this, this, and this for myself over a number of years, to be in a position where I now have options in women, options in geographical location, options in where I want to send my kids and what I want to put in my body, why would you then want one person forever? There's a very big difference as well with women, because a lot of women can be wives, but they don't have the spirit to be like a wife of the house, if that makes sense. And I guess it's the same for men. There are men that can be husbands, but they don't have the spirit of being a husband, like the true factor, if you know that.
Okay, so going back to the question, would you be in a monogamous marriage, relationship, whatever you're in?
You know, it's hard to say at this stage.
You know what? You're single now, so you better.
Yeah. No,
Speak up.
I'll speak up. But like for me, I have a very territorial nature, so I believe what Ant said as well. I believe that the male should be able to be non-monogamous, but for the female, it's different completely.
And sorry, can I add to that as well? One thing that a lot of girls don't realize is if you do make, quote unquote, a guy monogamous, he's gonna resent you, and that's just gonna cause strain on the relationship. Like, whether it's not your fault, of course you've done nothing wrong, but it takes away from his and I'm talking for myself. I'm sure there's some guy out there in the comments that's gonna say, oh, whatever. Like it almost takes away from your masculinity, because you feel like you can't be true. You're not being true to yourself, and that's just gonna cause resentment in the long run.
So you're saying that you're not being true to yourself because you can't get your dick wet by other people?
Yeah.
That's not you being true to yourself?
Yeah, honestly.
I feel like that's double standards.
It is very much double standards. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
100%.
was going to say this. All
But we
through the
live
male
completely
gaze.
different lives and we play completely different games.
Exactly.
So the double standard is different in both aspects. We have the double standard where we can have a lot of women, and that's our double standard. But there's a double standard different completely, but where you guys, for example, you don't pay for drinks in clubs, you get free tables, you get all this kind of stuff. The reason why, and I know it's a small comparison,
so
but the
blessed,
reason why
yay.
that happens,
Thank you.
no, but the reason why that happens is because men have spent a lot of time, effort, and suffering and sacrifice to be in a position to even provide that for you.
Can I just say one thing though? I can get free bottles and free drink myself. I don't need a man to pay for it for me.
All right,
Yeah.
you girls were first off the Titanic.
What?
I'll take it there.
Oh my God.
I'll take it.
Wow,
back
we're really
to the
going back there.
1800s or
Don't worry, I'm
whatever
going
it
to
was.
take it back also.
Like when a man's always had status, whether it's kings, tribesmen, all of this kind of stuff, they've always had a harem of women.
I'm just going to pause you there. And I'm jumping ahead, and I wish I wasn't. But if you think that you can you protect and provide? Is going to be my question.
Yes, but I have a long way to go as well.
So, do you think that you are in your right mind to say women don't go buy their own drink, they don't go buy their own blah, 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 blah. And we shouldn't be doing that because we can't rank up as high as what you've ranked in this non-monogamous situation. However, you can, even though you can't protect and provide for that woman neither.
That's the thing. Like, see with guys, like, we're very self-aware and you kind of know who you are. Like, when you become that person that can make these requests, you know as a guy. So I'm not saying I'm working at McDonald's. Like,
Okay, so
and
there's a level.
Yeah,
to this,
100%
is what
there
we're
is.
saying.
This is
Yeah,
why I
'cause
said, like, you have
I
to,
was gonna
you have to
say-
build yourself to. That's why I said about the optionality and the position in your life before, because you need to be at a standard that you can make requests. If you know what I mean.
100%.
Like, you can't say I want
Can
this
we
and then
make
not.
requests as women?
Of course, you can make requests.
They'll probably get denied.
Is that what
Yeah, you ask the question. There's a yes and no answers.
Yeah.
But what request would you want?
I want to sleep with other people as well if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
But in my relationships and my situations, I've always been bringing more money than they have.
that. Yeah.
So really, I've been the hierarchy in the relationship. I've never wanted to be. My fuck, I've not wanted to be. But I can't help that situation. And if I'm sorry, girls, but I've got to say it. If I'm paying more of the bills, my ego says I have more rule over that household.
No, I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree with that, 100%.
I absolutely agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is because my girl isn't paying for nothing, bruv. Nothing.
And
Her money's her money. Like, the bills
Does
are
she
getting...
work?
What do you mean? My
she work?
hypothetical...
Your
maybe
hypothetical woman?
girl or not girl.
Your imaginary
Ideal
relationship.
scenario.
But my...
Would you want her to work?
Would you want your
Would you want
partner
her
to
to
work?
work?
I wouldn't want her to work, but if she wants to, she's welcome to. But she wouldn't have to.
Okay.
Is the point. And like she'll be taken care of. Like money isn't an issue. Like, and any money that she makes is her money. I wouldn't be asking for a penny to pay for this or pay for that. No, it's not.
Can I say that, like, in an ideal situation, what you're saying, taking the sex part out of it and who can sleep with who, that is also most women's ideal scenario, is to have a partner that protects, provides. They don't need to worry. However, in my experience in the modern world,
Yeah.
like, that's not the norm anymore.
And it's not the norm because girls almost push that idea away.
I disagree. I 100%
I know
disagree.
so many girls, though, probably like yourselves, that do not want to work. Like, they will hunt for a guy that makes money, that they can go travelling with, they can go away, they can go out the nice countries, go on yachts, go on all the tables, and they're happy with that. They don't want to work. They literally don't want to. They just want to be with someone, and they know fine well what they're doing. They'll be cheating, they'll be doing whatever, but they turned a blind eye because they've got the lifestyle.
But those, which is absolutely correct, and I agree that's how girls should be. But that is not the vocal majority of girls.
So
if you
what
know I mean.
box would you put that in? Would you say that that's
That's
a wife, or
that could
that's
definitely
the
be a
fun
wife.
girl?
That could definitely be a wife. Well, I don't.
Interesting.
Well, it's okay. With the when I say wife and fun girl and whatever, I'm not even talking about like, okay, cool. You've come and you've accepted that you don't have to work and we travel the world or whatever. I'm not saying that. Like, when I meet a girl, just based on her energy, how she presents herself, how feminine she is, like how much not masculine she is. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we all have feminine and a masculine. That's kind of how you define a girl who's a wife or who's not a wife. Like, if a girl's like, we were talking about, again, off camera, we were talking about it the other day, where like, if you're around a girl and she's always loud and like making noise and like can't read the room and whatever, but she's still pretty, she can still be a fun girl. She can still come to the table, whatever. But I'll never actually make that
You would
wife.
never wife her?
No, of course not.
I know from the minute that probably people meet me, they would put me in the, not the wife box, the fun girl box, but
why-
that's just judging.
Why do you say that?
Because I just feel like people do, and I think people look at my job as well and what I do, so they'll just be like, nah. She's not a wife.
Like, can you make allowances for, say, somebody's
Yeah.
job? So say if Abbie's job, she's on reality TV, she's in the public eye, she has to do PRs, she has to turn up at these events, she has to go to clubs. Like, that is the nature of her job. Would that make her not a wife?
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just going to be honest.
Okay.
I couldn't accept that
Yeah,
I
me,
wouldn't.
Right.
me
I
personally.
wouldn't want to put my woman in a position where she's around other men in those environments where we know, like, men are like vultures. They're just going to try and consistently make an effort until one of them gets.
Do they?
Honestly, you would be surprised because I feel like when I'm out, I don't get approached by people because people are intimidated.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually
They're
don't. It's what you would think.
intimidated.
You think that because you've got a lad's brains. You know what you're like when you're in that situation. So you think that that's what's going to happen when I'm out. But I actually don't really get.
We see it from the reality aspect. Maybe
Approach
you're
that
an
way.
anomaly because of your status, as in your status in the popularity world, or the TV and fashion and whatever. But for the most part, women go places and men are relentless with their
Dick.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like with their efforts.
So I think it all comes back down to wanting the girl that's not either working or earning, that you know where she is at all times. You'll be the one that's providing, and you know where she is. She's just at home. She's just doing her thing. She's not out there. She's not traveling. She's not in clubs, because then you've got the power because you know.
No, it's not even that. It's once again, for me, it comes back to my children. So I want to make sure I look at the current world's, like, statistics and all that kind of stuff, and I look at divorce rates, and I look at the reasons why this is happening. And there's a massive issue that we have currently. So I'm like, if I am going to invest in this woman, essentially the mother of my children, and the warmth and the femininity in my home, I do not want to put her in a position where I'm going to potentially jeopardize my relationship with her and the relationship with my children. I understand that there's a masculine and a feminine dynamic that needs to be there to raise the best possible children.
Do you not think that you doing something though would affect your children? So
Of
do you
course.
mean in that sense that you
course.
would be full monogamy?
Men,
Because then anything you do would affect your children as well. So it
yeah,
would
no,
be on
I
you.
get that. But I feel like it is very different at the same time, because for a man to be in a position where he can even ask for monogamy, he needs to have brought a lot to the table to be able to say that first. And if you're not, you can't be saying, oh, I want to sleep around, because you're just like a bum on the street who just sleeps with heaps of girls but can't actually provide for any of them.
So if I brought in the money as well, I wouldn't be allowed.
No, because we don't care about your money.
Exactly. And again,
Your money is your money. It's always going to be your money.
That's
But
the thing.
our money provides for everyone. That's it. You can make as much money as you want, but you're not going to buy me stuff.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Kind of bringing it back to what we've already spoke about, but Abbie, what do you think that men value most in women? What do you think that men want most from us?
I feel like kind of similar to what you have been saying, to be honest, that a man wants a woman that's very much in a feminine energy, that can give a man what he can't give himself.
Okay, so what values would they be?
Kind of just
Consistent sex, loyalty. These are my three, what I think they want.
Yeah.
Consistent sex, loyalty, and peace.
yeah,
You agree,
yeah, I agree.
Kaz?
Immediately the word purity came to my mind. I think men,
Why is that?
I think that men, if you're talking about wifing a woman up and having your children, having their children, they look at the woman that's like most pure, so the one that's like not in the clubs, that hasn't slept around, that, like Ant said, isn't being the loudest in the room, and kind of like, I don't agree with this, but in your terms maybe like lacks class. So yeah, I think purity would be a big one.
Okay, guys, what do you want most in a woman?
You girls are kind of spot on. So I would say peace of mind is at the top of the list. Loyalty, obviously. And the thing you said about consistent sex and all that, like, not really, again, because if there's no monogamy, then you don't really need a girl who's like consistently trying to have sex with you and trying to do all these new stuff in the bedroom. You don't need that. Like, example with me is when I was living in Dubai, I had friends that would come around and like we'll have a good time, whatever. But there was this one girl that I would literally like, and I don't mean kick them out the house in a rude way. I'm a gentleman, but like I would say, oh, I've got stuff to do, so that they could leave, so that girl could literally just come to my house. And that girl, she's a virgin, like she's never had sex ever, like, and I never ever tried to pressure her, nothing. She'll come to the house, we'll watch movies, and like I would rather sleep next to her in bed. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like she was my piece. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas
Okay. Because she's pure. No one's touched her.
Not even because she's pure, just in a sense where like the qualities and the benefits that I get from her doesn't necessarily have to be sex. Like, because there's girls that I do have sex with and that are like the good girls that know how to have sex, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the sort of relationship that I had with this other girl. But like when it came to like watching movies, having conversations, just being around like feminine energy, like someone to cuddle in bed, it was always that girl.
And you don't feel like you could do that with the fun girls? You don't feel like you could watch a movie with them? You don't feel
No,
like
of
you
course
could chill?
I could. And yeah, I did sometimes or whatever, but I would just rather be around that other girl. Like,
Okay.
so, because she gave me peace and loyalty. Like with me, I was taking the piss. Like I've always been honest with girls. I'm not here to sell no dreams. I'm not Mr. Nice Guy and all that shit. Like I told girls straight, like I have no intention of being with you or being like, I don't want no relationship, blah, 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 blah. So like this girl would come to my house like in the evenings or whatever. And then when she leaves in the morning, like I'll be at the pool with another thing, like in a bikini, like snapping or whatever. Like she never gave me no headache about it, sort of thing. Then a few days later, she'll just message me out of the blue and say, I miss you, blah, blah, blah. And then she'll come around. Like she was just peace. There was no resistance with this girl ever. She was just peace.
Would you ever call that boring?
No. And well, maybe, but I like boring. I consider myself quite a boring guy. Like it doesn't take much to entertain me. Like my perfect night, is a night in on my laptop, just chilling, watching random ass videos on YouTube. That is my fun. So
I think the main thing you said there was lack of resistance.
yeah,
I think a lot of men want that in their ideal women.
yeah,
Absolutely.
It's a lack of resistance. But then that irks me, because then it's like, I feel like this whole conversation is very much from the male gaze and what men want and what's ideal for men. But like, where do women come into it? Like, where do our wants, our needs,
okay.
our
So
opinions?
so this is
They're gonna
another.
come, baby.
Good.
They're
Yeah,
coming.
I think the question was asked from the male
Yeah.
side. So,
Yeah. No.
so for me, it would be peace, purity, femininity, and attraction.
Okay, so sex is not actually coming into it from either of your perspectives.
And this is a conversation that me and you had the other day. And again, I know people are gonna go crazy in the comments, blah blah blah, whatever. Who cares? But women don't really know. A lot of women, yeah, I'm sure there's one person out there, whatever, cool. But a lot of women don't actually know what they want. Like, not like, and I don't want to sound like I'm there to tell women what they know and don't know. But that's just the reality. Like a lot of my female friends come to realize that, because women will say the sort of guy that they want, but then they're not with that guy. So like, do you know what I mean?